Good evening. Thank you for joining us this evening. So, today is a Lenten reflection with a little bit of a difference. We're here up representing SPY. My name is Lyle, and my co animator will be Arabella, who will be joining us shortly. Like I said, we are doing a Lenten reflection with a difference. I've called the PPT streamlined, or I've called this topic streamlined. I'll get into that later. Very quickly, why are we doing this? So to keep the good momentum going. Now, this is really a shout out to the youth, to all of you. Thank you for keeping this momentum going and making us, or making SPY as vibrant as it is today. To let everyone know what SPY is all about. So this is a forum that can let you all know what we're all about. We have our mission statement, our values, our goals, that's all going to come up. Then to better understand how our youth can be brought center stage. So very quickly, like I said, this is a Lenten reflection with a difference. I'm going to be talking about the mission statement, I'm going to be talking about our goals, I'm going to be talking about our values. This is really what we as SPY do differently. We'd like you to take our mission statement, our goals, our values as your Lenten reflection. So what are we about? The mission statement. So it's good to have a mission statement so that we can have something to look up to. Goals, obviously everyone needs goals to have focus and direction. Values, to have some kind of guidelines. Obviously we're running a big group, we're running a church group, we need to have some guidelines. Now our mission statement. St. Peter's Church, or we at St. Peter's Church, are committed to the reality that our youth are an integral part of our parish community. I think that's also a saying that goes out nationally and internationally. The youth are our core, our foundation. And like we know, St. Peter has been called the foundation stone or the rock of the church. The same way the youth are the present day rocks or foundation stones of the church today. And that's really where we're going to start off, where we need to reflect on how we can integrate our youth and bring them center stage, because if we don't have the youth coming up as our foundation, it's going to all go a little rocky, really, to say. So our mission statement, we believe that the youth group is for the youth, to the youth, with the youth, and by the youth. Very importantly, it is for the youth, to the youth, with the youth, and by the youth. The youth group seeks to foster the growth of our faith among the youth of our parish with the support of the parish community. Very importantly, the youth group just doing things by themselves is not going to work unless you, the parish community, are there to support them. We aim to nurture and encourage the gifts of our youth, to provide opportunities for them to showcase their talents, which in turn they can provide some support to the larger parish community by showcasing their talents. So the spiritual and social needs of the youth are to be fulfilled by committed leadership, guidance, and support of our priest, our mentors, and you, the parish community again. The parish community is something that's going to feature right through this presentation, because you as the community are an integral part that really push the youth forward and will push this SPY group forward. So through a variety of programs, which we will talk about a little later, we seek to draw out young people into responsible participation. So now we'll go into reflection about really the goals that we have. So the first goal is to grow in our relationship with God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. Very importantly, that's a core value, that's a core goal that we have. Then to help and build a more vibrant parish community, to learn more about the faith, to develop leadership abilities by serving others, to empower our fellow youth to live as disciples of Jesus Christ in our challenging world today, especially with what's going on in the world and over the last 2 years, and now with the war and what's going on in our country. It's important to empower the youth and support them really to live as disciples of Jesus Christ. To draw youth to responsible participation in the life, mission, and work of the Catholic faith community. Our church is involved in various missions, and really our core message as SPY, if you think about SPY, everything about us is a mission. Everything is a special op, everything is a mission. So we consider everything that we do really a mission, and we take it on head on. That's really what we want to go on with. So to foster the total personal and spiritual growth of a young person. Remember, it needs to be wholesome. It's not just spiritual, it's not just personal. We are looking at a whole life kind of experience where you get experience not just with your everyday religious abilities, but the church and the SPY really provide a platform for you to build up life experiences. To have fun, obviously, in a faith-filled environment. So the youth ministry, obviously, now to make these goals a reality, there needs to be something that ties all of this together. So all of this needs to be comprehensive in scope, and it all needs to come under an integrated framework. If everything in a recipe is all over the place, that recipe is never going to work out. So everything needs to come into place, and we'll talk about that shortly. So we look at 8 such components of a comprehensive ministry. The first being to make our goals a reality is advocacy. Now, protecting the sanctity of human life, speaking with and on behalf of young people, developing partnerships in a building healthy community and building healthy community. Now, advocacy at a time like this, especially with justice issues in our world, we look at the youth having to speak up a lot more, to advocate for their fellow youth, for the country, for the right causes. The next one is catechesis. Now, catechesis are very important in obviously developing a faith foundation for the youth today. Not just for the youth, I think all of us adults also look at catechesis being an integral part. We go through that right from Sunday school to our confirmation to all our Bible classes. Catechesis plays an important part in better understanding our faith. So then community life. Now, community life is not just about what we do. It's not about the activities, but it's about who we are, where we form an identity, really. And it's about how we interact. It's about the relationships that we make. So having a community life is not just about being part of an activity and going home. It's about building an identity for yourselves, and that's where we encourage the youth to build an identity for themselves and obviously build relationships. Because if you're just going to come for an activity and go home, it doesn't end there. It's just part of what the church is offering. So it is really to build a whole community life of activity, identity, and relationships. Then evangelization. Now, very importantly, it's this word and this act is not looked upon that easily nowadays, and we are encouraging youth to evangelize. So evangelization we mean by, if you are happy with your faith, we'd like you to talk about it a lot more, to speak to people a lot more. It's not only for yourself, speak about it to others. So we encourage the youth to reach our goals, we need to evangelize a lot more. Justice and service, like I said earlier, justice is a big point just now in our country and around the world. With the wars, with what's happening in our country, we encourage the youth to speak up in justice. Over the last years, through the lockdown, we saw a lot of justice issues in the country, still continuing today. So we look at nurturing and the support of the parish community here to help with the youth to stand up for justice and service in this country. Leadership development. Now, this is something where I said the church provides a platform, not just for your day-to-day development on just for that day. It's about building you up to go out into the world later on. So all of us went through interviews, lots of job interviews. What are the experiences? I strongly believe, and we strongly believe that the experience that you gain in church with various events, with just speaking up in public, will definitely help you in your way moving forward. So the church provides that opportunity, a call out to the youth, take that up. It's a great opportunity for you to look good in your CV moving forward. Pastoral care. Now this is, I've put here, it's a compassionate presence in imitation of Jesus. So here really pastoral care is acting more like Jesus, being like Jesus a lot more, and caring and loving for everyone around you, not just yourselves, or not just your immediate family, or not just the person who you are close to. We encourage people to look at, and the youth to look at caring for everyone around you. Prayer and worship. Cannot forget this, an integral part. It celebrates and deepens young people's relationships with Jesus Christ. Very importantly in life, to face challenges, if we don't have our prayer and worship time, it gets all that more difficult to deal with the life that we are going to be facing even post-lockdown. So a key really for our goals to become a reality is prayer and worship. Now we look at our core values, what we as a youth group really hold dear to us and we really value is integrity. Now integrity is being truthful, reliable and authentic in what we do. With the support of the Holy Spirit, with the support of our Jesus and his teachings, we look at being honest and truthful. Encouraging. Encourage yourselves and encourage others as well. That's something that we as mentors encourage the youth to do, especially the senior youth. We ask them to encourage the newer youth, the new members that join in. Not just members, but we also encourage, when we're doing events, we encourage participation from everyone to experience really what the church world is. So be encouraging is very important. Hope. Hope is really is self-explanatory. All of us live in a world that requires a lot of hope, and especially in the trying times that we go down, we encourage and we hold hope as a big point really in our lives. Justice. Again, justice comes as one of our core values. Today's world, today's country, there's a lot of justice issues, and we like it to start from the base really. So if we as a spy group have justice and we treat people justly, we hope that will reflect into the adults or the young adults that are going out into the world. So justice is a value that we hold dear to us. Compassion. Right through, if you see, throughout the lockdown, we went through programs like Mana on Wheels, where compassion played a big part. It's not easy to live in the world on the streets with little or no money, losing jobs. So the youth hold compassion, and they showed compassion a lot. I mean, congratulations to the youth and the community and Dr. Richard and Canis for showing that compassion when it was really needed, especially with Mana on Wheels. Then leading by example. Leading by example starts from our parish priests to all our fathers, to all of us mentors, to all of our council, the parish council. We all need to lead by example, and that's what we pass on to the youth, especially our senior youth. We tell them that you need to lead by example going forward. Inclusivity. Now, inclusivity is something that we have been talking about. Father Fraser has been talking about including other people, other faiths into, and that is something we've done with all of our events. We are inclusive to everyone. Everyone is welcome. There is no restriction, there is no limitation. Obviously our core value is to know God, and that's why we are SPY, the St. Peter's Youth. It is to know God better and to evangelize and let people know more about God, and to make, like I said, to make God known to others. Now I'd like to pass on the presentation to my colleague Ara. Ara will talk about challenges and some of the current day activities that the youth have been involved in.
Hi everyone. Again, thanks a lot for being with us today. Lyle's covered a lot of our mission statement. I'm going to talk to you on a more personal level about the challenges that we face in getting more youth in to be a part of the youth ministry, and also in a big way the reasons why you all should be part of the youth ministry. So on a very personal level, I'm going to say that there are very, very few things in life, and I would say except my family, that give me as much happiness and pride as working with the youth. They are, without doubt, the most, they bring a joy and they bring an enthusiasm to everything they do, which I feel sometimes we kind of dwindle in us as we go along and as we become bigger and take things for granted. The fact that they are always there, they always come out to help people in need or to make people happy or even just to help each other by being a part of the youth group is a testimony to how, as young as they are living their faith. And that's really, really important, and it's really heartening to see. Now, what are some of the challenges we find in getting youth to come out? Fortunately, we have our confirmation sessions. It gives us a chance to meet the new youth who are passing out of their 10th and getting into the age group of our youth group, which is around 17 to 35. And we have the opportunity to expose them to our activities. And we do get a couple of them with every youth group, with every confirmation batch which passes out. We get a little batch of youth that come in and join the youth group, and that's wonderful. But it also, it kind of pinches in a way that we don't get more. And we were trying to think about what could be the challenges? Why do we not get more youth to come in and be a part of the youth ministry? And it's not that we don't get it. We get some of you all. We understand the pressures of work in the working youth category. We understand the pressures of college and exams. In this case, there's just, we don't blame them. Our entire system of education has gotten to a point where everything is based on the percentile system. You need to study to get those percentages, to get into a good college, to let you do what you want to do in life. And we didn't have that problem many years ago. It's probably a generation gap, but we were very happy with the 60% we got. It didn't prevent us from getting into a good college or in any way was a hindrance to following the career choice that we made. But now it's a lot more difficult for you all, and we get that. We get that along with college there, you all need to take tuitions. Along with tuitions, you all need to study. It's a whole day, and it's a whole day of a lot of stress leading to frustration. And at this point, I'd actually like to make an appeal to our parents out there. I am fortunate enough to have a child who tells me exactly what he thinks of me, forcing him to do things he doesn't want to do. But a lot of our youth here don't have that. They don't feel they are able to discuss problems they have with their parents. And they will bottle up this frustration, they will bottle up this stress, and it just leads to emotional and psychological problems with our youth today. And we see it in so many instances in everyday life. And we all know that people are every single youth is not capable of getting to a 99.5% or a 99% or even an 80%. But the pressure that society and family and colleges and the education system puts on you these days is enough to stress them to levels that they may not be able to come back from. So here is again where I feel the youth group makes a huge difference, because they get a chance to come out and do something else along with those studies. We don't expect them to be here at every event, at every meeting, but it gives them a chance to be out there making a difference. It will bring balance to their lives. It will help alleviate the stress. And what is really, really important is that they get to be a part of a youth group. Elder youth who have been past the problems they have. Younger youth probably who they can mentor with the changes. And that is That is the benefit of being part of a group that has diverse ideas and diverse thoughts on various things. And we as parents, I feel at some point we need to trust our youth more. The youth are changed. The youth today are a changed bunch. They are not us who will bow down at a frown, or they are not us who will listen to everything we say. They have their own thoughts. Their minds are developing much earlier. They have a confidence in themselves that we probably didn't have. So let's give them that benefit of a doubt as the benefit of the doubt as parents. Let's support them in what they plan to do, because pushing them to do things we want them to do is probably not the best thing for them. So let them find their own path. In fact, very recently, a very wise priest told me the biggest part of a parent these days is to just be a cushion for your children. You need to be there so that they can come to you when they have a problem. They need to know that you're there for them if they fall. But let them make their own choices and just be there and support them through everything they do. I think the most important thing that we need to get out of our youth today is that they need to come out as emotionally stable and psychologically strong individuals. We see terrible consequences to stress these days. We see extreme situations where youth are committing, young people of even younger than youth, 14, 15, 16, committing suicide because they've done badly in a paper. I mean, we really don't want them to get to these levels, do we? We want them to have that balance in their life, and the emotional and psychological stability, the sense of being able to accomplish things comes out of working with the youth group and the youth ministry. When you know you can make a change in the lives of others, it gives you a sense of self-worth. It gives you a different way of thinking. And so let's encourage them, not only our parents, but our entire community. Please, let's make it a point to start encouraging our youth to become part of the youth groups. You will see a change in them. You will see the way they lighten up. You will see a change in the way they handle pressure. You'll see a change in the way that they start communicating with you. So that was to the parents, okay? And parents, please do support your children. I think the next points are for the youth. I think they underestimate their ability to make a difference. They all think, oh, we're young, what can we do? Let the others do it. There's so many senior people in church. But there are going to be a couple of slides and videos which come up next shortly, where you will see your ability to even just getting a smile on the faces of the people you help is enough. You all have that power to make a change. Every single one of you all has the power to make a change, individually and collectively. We say collectively because we really want you all to come together in the youth group, because really when you're in the numbers that come together for any of our events, anything we do, what is really great to see is the fact that the power of youth can really work magic. Friends, I'm just going to pass by because, a lot of us aren't interested in coming out and being part of the youth ministry because our friends don't want to be part of the university, part of the ministry. There are youth who probably feel like, we don't need to be there and do that. But if you feel you need to be there and do that and make a change, then you need to try and pull those friends into the youth group along with you. Lack of knowledge about what we do and how SPY operates. So I think another reason why a lot of the youth don't come out is because they feel that they don't have the time to. And what you all need to know about SPY is we do not expect you all to be part of every single activity and every single meeting. Even if you all come in for a planning meeting and help plan an event, or come in on the last day to participate in that event, or be part of an adoration, or be part of the Stations of the Cross, or just come out for our visits when we do outreaches to orphanages and senior citizens and Ashagad. It's just a little time out of your life which will give you the kind of enrichment of self that you may not give. And it also gives you that chance to realize how you can make a difference to other people's lives and touch them. So please don't feel you all don't have the time. Nobody holds anything against anyone who comes just once and may not even come again. But just being a part of the group is really important. And I do know, and trust me, I can tell all of you, once you've been part of one function, or one event or one outreach, you will never want to not be a part of the next activities. We currently have 140 members in our youth group. That 140, that's a huge number. You may not see all of them all the time, but you will see enough of them to make a difference whenever they're needed. Afraid of embarrassing themselves. In fact, very recently someone told me, oh God, I made a mistake while reading. I can't go up onto the altar again to read. And I was like, everybody does it. I mean, please don't be afraid to embarrass yourselves. There is no wrong in anything the youth does. Lack of encouragement from the community came in with the point with parents. Please, community, I mean, you hear a lot of people telling your children, or a lot of people in the society telling the children, study hard, do well, you need to do this to get here. But I don't think you find enough people telling the children, join the youth group, go make a difference. So please community, please society, and please parents, tell your children, go out and make a difference, form the youth group, be a part of the youth group, and go out there and make a change. So the reasons to be inspired are basically much less than the reasons why you don't want to be inspired. They're just three basic points. One is you really can make a difference in the lives of people, individually and as a group. You get to mix with youth of different ages, which gives you a wider range of knowledge, a wider range of experience, and a wider range of experience of your years and your generation, which perhaps a lot of us and our past generations and even our parents and even our grandparents may not be able to give you. But you can benefit from the wisdom of youth who have passed or who are older than you, and you can be a good guide for the youth who are younger than you. Contentment of feeling and self-worth, I've said enough. Believe me, nothing touches the joy of doing things for others. We're going to run through a couple of photographs and slides right now. Please look out for yourselves, all of the youth who are watching from home and couldn't make it in here. But for all of you all to realize that when the youth get together, how much happiness and how much of a change you all can make. Now there are two events in the last couple of years which really brought the youth into focus. One of them was the Mana on Wheels and Helping Hands program, where they actually came out in a difficult, dangerous situation, and they came out to help bravely. Nobody expected anything to go wrong, and there was nobody who was afraid to go out and even talk to people who I don't think any of us in our normal way of life would have, in our normal passing of life would have done. Nobody would have gone and stopped and spoken to street dwellers, or these guys collecting things, collecting plastic bottles and all of the road. But for me personally and for all the youth who helped in that thing, we got a new friend group. I mean, when we walk down the road these days, we have rag pickers saying, hello ma'am, how are you? And I want to stick to me, we should be asking you how you are. But I mean, it's amazing. It is really amazing. We remember their names. They may not remember our names because they just called us ma'am and sir, but they remember our faces, and that makes a huge difference. So these are some of the things. I'm going to run a little bit quickly because I might run out of time. I'm going to run through some of the activities that the youth do. We broadly divide them into two. One is service and one is community building. So within our service of the missions, which is basically our youth ministry in a big way, we do outreach to orphanages and senior citizens. This can happen at any time of the year. We may do it at Easter time, we may do it at Christmas, we might just do it if we feel the need on some occasion, like a Christ the King feast, where we feel that, we need to visit them and we need to kind of at least go out there and lighten up their lives a bit. Another thing, one of the things which has become an integral part of the youth group down the years is our twin mission, Ashagar, where we do a stationery drive, we collect consumables, we do a newspaper drive, all to raise funds and the things which they need to help them run through the year. So after, the collections are done in church, and after that they are sent to Ashagar, and most times we take them there and we intermingle with the children, which is lovely. Then we have our Easter missions, which is the Good Friday service that the youth do. We've done holy hours and we've done the Maundy Thursday service. Then we have the inter-parish youth pilgrimage to the Mount. It happens every year. It is not only St. Peter's, it is the youth from all parishes, where it's a midnight pilgrimage. Till I think COVID hit, we did it 2 years in a row, and there'll be some pictures coming up on that. We also help other parish groups. Like we did the Mask Up campaign with the Care for Creation group. We've helped with the Jesus Club and their functions. Man on Wheels Helping Hands, which I think everybody knows what went into that. Lectors, Cantors, and the Youth Mass. Community building is one of the major things was Unwrap, where we pulled up these 5 days, and I think that was our biggest success in community building ever. It kind of put the youth on the map, where people actually walked by me and Lyle and said, listen, your youth did a fabulous job, and it was so heartwarming. And it came together after probably a month or two of planning, but it came together really well, and it was truly the best display of community building you could see. We had 5 days, all 5 days. There were people out there dancing and singing. We had our priests singing, our Jesuit priests who entertained us. We had our brothers helping out. We had a senior citizens night. We had a campfire night. We had a nostalgia night. We had a barbecue night. And we had a night for the kids as well. And we had an interfaith night. So, that was a week where we really managed to pull things together. Then we have a lot of inter-parish events, like we have the tele games, and we have the treasure hunt, and we have the football tournaments, and we have the badminton tournaments. So basically being part of the youth group is also a lot of fun. All the hikes and camps and picnics and all you'll see. Basically, the picnics that we have as part of the youth group and the hikes we do and whatever are just to get relationships formed within the youth. It's so that they can all come together and know they have a support system outside their families as well. Is it okay, so this photograph is actually one of my favorite photographs. We did it for a calendar, but everybody tends to associate our youth as wild youth who are riding around on bikes. But look at them. They bring their bikes in here to help wherever they can. And if you look really closely, that first bike has God's Army written on it. This is the collection drive that we do for Ashagar. This was Mana on Wheels. And you can, even that smile on that mom's face is enough. That is how the work you do touches people. This was the Mask Up campaign. Basically, the Mask Up campaign was taken on by the Care for Creation group to encourage people to use their masks, because we found at a point of time where people really needed to go out there and be safe that they weren't. They were walking around with their masks under their chin. So this entire campaign had the youth standing on Hill Road from opposites from St. Joseph's Convent way down to the police station with masks on and with these banners saying Mask Up. So this is the first video. This is the Mana on Wheels video. So that was the Mana on Wheels video. a very, very effective video, but believe me, they were warriors. And the last video I'm gonna play for today is basically the background track of this video is sung by our youth. And way back when COVID first hit, we had a couple of our youth who got together and recorded individual parts of a hymn. And each part of the background track was played on the piano, and we put everything together. We didn't have a chance to use it till today, so I'm really glad we have this opportunity to use it now. But to all those who did that video, fantastic job. And to every single picture you all see, that's our prayer for our youth today.
Take my hands, they are yours to use. Take my feet, now follow you. Fill my mouth, give me words to pray. Break my heart with what brings you pain. Right here in this moment, I can hear your spirit call. So I'm coming as your servant, surrendering to you now. Here am I, send me. Here am I, send me. Savior, I'll take the message to the world. Here am I, send me. Here am I, send me. Savior, I'll take the message to the world. Send me. Lord, send me.
Take my eyes, help me see the need. Tune my ears to your heartbeat. Take my all, silver and my gold. Lay it down at your feet, my oh, right here in this moment, dare not walk away. For I see you all so broken. Father, hear me pray.
Here am I, send me. Here am I, send me. Savior, I'll take the message to the world. Here am I, send me. Here am I, send me. Savior, I'll take the message to the world. To the lost and lonely, send me to the wounded
We'd like to end this evening by thanking the Jesuit fathers, really, who have been pivotal in SPY becoming streamlined. Hence, we named the PPT Streamlined, because streamlined really is what we're looking to become, and we've already become partly that. We'd also like to thank the parish community for all the support, and especially the youth. We'd like to thank you, because without you, SPY would not be possible. Thank you and have a good evening.